In this DVD, I will show how to utilize karate in mixed martial arts competition. I will discuss why movement is so important, why it is important to learn the intricacies of each strike. I will also demonstrate how to attack and defend using movement. This is the principal objective. A large part of this DVD will focus on using your legs for defense. A lot of people think you should defend using your arms, when in actuality, your arms are the last thing you want to use for defense. Before you use your arms, you must utilize movement, utilize your legs. How? You pivot to one side, pivot out to the other side. You want to use movement and footwork to escape your opponent's attacks. Always pivoting, always escaping to one side or the other. When you learn how to move in this fashion, it'll be much easier to attack and defend. You'll cut angles that make it very difficult for your opponent to hit you. This is a very important aspect of your training. I will also discuss the importance of learning how to kick properly. The way you throw your kicks, your form, is vital for the success of your kicks. A lot of times, fighters don't try hard enough to master each individual kick. For example, if you move your shoulders prior to kicking, you telegraph your movement. Then your opponent can read your movements and have time to defend your attack. In this DVD, I will demonstrate how to kick properly and how and why to bring your leg back into your stance after kicking. If you learn how to kick properly in the beginning, learn all the various details, then it will be much easier for you to effectively use kicks in a fight. In this DVD, I will also focus on punches. When you throw punches in karate, you don't want to let your elbows drift away from your body. In addition to losing power, you telegraph your strike, making it easy for your opponent to see the punch coming and defend against it. If you learn to throw your punches correctly, your opponent won't see the punch coming until it's too late. Also, the most important part about punching is staying relaxed. You don't want to tense up until just before you hit your target. If you are tight when you punch, you won't be able to hit very hard. Elbows will also be covered. They are a very valuable tool because they allow you to land hard strikes from a very short distance. However, in order to throw elbows effectively, you must know the proper angle of entry for each one. There are a lot of fighters who understand how to throw elbows, but because they don't know the proper angle of entry, they aren't successful with them. It is a very important aspect. I strongly recommend reviewing this entire section because elbow strikes are a very strong weapon that should be taken advantage of. Knee strikes are another very important tool to have in your arsenal. They are similar to elbows because they can be executed from close range, but I will also demonstrate knee strikes that can be thrown from a distance. For example, why is it very important to angle your foot downward when throwing knee strikes? I will cover all these details. I recommend spending the time it takes to master knee strikes because they can often determine the outcome to a fight, especially if your opponent doesn't have good knee defense. Katas are not generally associated with MMA, but if you want to apply karate to MMA, then it is super important to work on constantly developing your base. This is what katas do for you. However, drilling just katas will not make you a good MMA fighter. Even if you have a strong base and a host of combinations, you still need to learn how to apply them in MMA. So, katas are super important for developing your base. They're important for mastering the basics. But in order to be a good fighter, you must still learn how to apply these skills in a real fight.